Alrighty, folks, and we are officially live in the flesh with my man Tito in front of me. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me, my man. I do truly appreciate it.
I appreciate you being on, man. And before even anything, now, before we talk about anything and saying who's here and what's not, we just got the most amazing news ever. I say we like as if we're doing it, but I just got the most amazing news from Tito, and he just found out that he's going to become a father just this morning. Just this morning, found out he's having a
Just this
baby.
morning,
How's it feel, man?
it feels like I'm still in cloud nine. I was just telling my wife that I was so excited. I was still talking about it, thinking about it, and my wife reminded me like, "Hey, don't you still have to do that interview?" I'm like, "Oh
Um,
yeah, I guess I need to get ready for that." But no, my man, I'm already a stepfather to a great 9-year-old son, so now I get to enjoy the process from the very beginning. So trust me, nothing but happy over here.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I told him off camera, like, congratulations and all that stuff. I said, but we could cancel. We didn't have to do this. We want to spend time. But he urged me. He said, this is more important. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, father duty can wait.
Yes, yes. Well, what's interesting is, whenever they come of consciousness, you can show them this stream and say, oh, this was the day with this random person, Anthony, is the day I found out, that you were going to come, into fruition. And then they'll watch the video and then they'll learn about credit cards or anything.
Right? Like, hey, your daddy was somebody back in the day. See, he was on Anthony's channel. Like, he was somebody.
Oh, right? Yeah, he made it, right? It's so stupid. Oh God. But that's great. That's amazing. Let me just see what's up to everybody. We got MR saying Tito makes great vodka. I didn't know that. Did you really?
Hey, yep. It's a that's a Tito's secret, but you're
It's
right.
the family secret. Gotcha.
Right?
Michael Pythia, what's going on, man? Killing it as a realtor out in Texas. I know. Matt Clausen, what's poppin'?
My
Cesar,
man
your
Matt.
friend, your friend out in PR. All of our friends out in PR, I should say. Yeah, MR. Count the days until the white metal Delta Reserve arrives. It's the worst type of. It's the worst Delta Reserve, the white metal. You need the black metal is way better, obviously, and you and CJ are wrong. Sorry. Have you seen this, Tito? Did you see?
I haven't seen all the details, but yeah, I've seen the images, and I'm a fan. I'll be honest, I'm a fan.
You like the white or do you like the black better? You think?
I think I'm a fan of the white, to be honest with you. It's
Oh
just
God.
something different. It's
It's-
you don't see a lot of cards like that. Obviously, you have the Amex Platinum, but still, there's something about that one that just caught my eye.
gotcha. That's funny. So RJ Mojo and Jazzy. Oh, I always called you Jazzy, but is your
Oh,
name actually Angela? I actually never really. I always wanted to ask you, but I guess never really saw you here. Cheers from Alabama. Good Southern country folk about the roars, points, and miles. Love Alabama. Don't be
yeah, I was
whack.
about to say.
Get black. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was about to say I haven't been to Alabama yet, but I was recently in both Louisville, Kentucky, as well as Nashville, Tennessee, and I
Mm.
live in Pennsylvania, so that was a world of difference. And I told my wife right away, we have to go. We have to visit the South. It's a different environment altogether.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Yeah. It is weird, right? Because I remember. I think actually no. I think the first time I ever went to Nashville was when I moved down to South Carolina here. So I think I was already somewhat a cousin, but South Carolina is basically like nowadays. It seems like another Florida, another New York, because everybody's just moving here. So you meet people with similar accents. But then Nashville's different because people actually
Yeah,
have like the spurs on. They have the cowboy boots. I'm like, what do you do? At least in the heart of Nashville downtown, where where people are dressing up anyway. But even just like some side places, you see it too. It's interesting. Um,
right, right.
um, Reggie said, "Don't be whack at black." Agreed. Should, should be criminal to pick the white over black one. Come on, son. Come on, Mike. Builder reserves cut from the freshest doors. Oh no, the Boeing plane's going down, man. I'm really scared. I actually canceled flights just because I'm afraid.
Oh, really? Mm.
Yeah. Warren, behind the outside the Tesla. Yeah, it's kind of. I kind of like the streams from here now, especially since I'm using the iPad. I can't put it in the freaking car anymore, the office anymore. It's like because I have to set it up and it doesn't look right. It's just comfortable in here. I don't know.
I mean, I have
But
to say though, you probably have the coolest office or backdrop that I've seen with a lot of credit card content creators. Like this is boring compared to the Tesla, my man. I
I
like
don't.
the Tesla.
I appreciate it, but yeah, it's all I really ever had when I started, so that's kind of why I had to use it. But
Mm.
um, you know, but maybe I'll always be there. But I think streams might be working just here might be a little easier. Um, and I appreciate the warning you said about the video. It's just something I was thinking of. I don't know. It was like a crazy thought I had. And then we got Chad Pennycoff. I have a family and house in BTW. Is that Detroit, right? I'm gonna rock Delta Platte Reserve and Tesla Rock. I appreciate it. So appreciate everyone for being here. Appreciate Tito for being here. So I had some interesting things about Tito. So the first time I've ever actually seen your videos, seen your channel, was a video you did not too long ago. Well, I guess now it was about 8 months ago about the CCCA Act. So I guess or CCCA, which is the Credit Card Competition Act, which was essentially I guess there's not enough competition with payment processors, and then some businesses they want to have more competition, so this way interchange fees will come down and down. And the main speculation is that credit card rewards will maybe cease to exist because the credit card interchange fees will lower and no less profits for the greater companies. That's like the down and dirty. But you put in like a great full video on this, and I learned a lot from it. Um, so when you were making that video, at least to your knowledge now, because I know that was 8 months ago, do you ever think that this has any legs? Do you think that something like this would ever pass where now we won't have credit card rewards in the future?
I definitely do believe it has legs, just because I'm in a completely different industry when it comes to my 9 to 5. I'm in the life insurance industry, so I'm always going and talking and hearing about any bills that are getting passed or that are being proposed. And one thing that I keep hearing on is that just because a bill doesn't pass doesn't mean that it's the end of it. They literally put it in the books so that they can pull it back whenever they're looking in the future to propose different bills. So just because it might not have legs today doesn't mean that it doesn't have legs tomorrow, next year, or 5 years from today. But yeah, I would say that it might have legs just because there are legitimate reasons that a lot of I wouldn't say consumers, but much more merchants would be interested in having this bill pass. And the reason for that is that to them, they don't care about credit card points and rewards and all that good stuff, but rather they're just seeing the bill that is coming on their end. In the example that I gave in the video, I mentioned Giant. If you spend
Yeah.
$100, right now, let's say that the interchange fee or the swipe fee is around 3%. Well, out of those $100, they technically only get $97,
Yeah.
97%. So in their end, they're the only way that they're looking at it is like, what do you mean if we implement this bill, we can instead of paying 3%, we would only pay half of it, 1.5%. And
Mhm.
in our view, and what's going to happen in our transaction there's no difference. It doesn't matter on our end. Well, yeah, I want to go that way. I want to go the cheaper route. Like,
Right.
why wouldn't I? So yeah, and again, when I say merchants, I'm not just talking about, Walmart or Target, because in my view, they don't need this kind of assistance. They don't need to worry about this. But it's also about your, local mom and pop shops, that pizza shop, that small grocery store, that little pharmacy shop that, is trying to come up. They're also stuck with the exact same fee. So when we look at their end on those small mom and pop shops, which is kind of like the marketing of it, the face of it, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
It's like they're using the face of the small mom and pop shops to say, like, this is a problem that we have. We need to
Mhm.
fix this problem. They're paying too much. But, on the other side, it's like, well, yeah, they need the help, but does Target need help? Does Walmart need help? And again, I don't know what their finances look like, but it sure doesn't seem like they would need help. But yeah,
Mhm.
there again, merchants are definitely a proponents of this bill just because they don't want to have such high swipe fees. And I mean, I'm sure you've been to some restaurants, myself as well, where if you use a credit card or even a debit card, you have to pay an additional 2 or 3%,
Mhm.
and that's that interchange fee, that's that swipe fee that
Yeah.
the merchant is passing on to the client because it's just plainly too high. If you
Yeah.
pay with cash, then you won't have to worry about that fee. But again, the reason that I do believe it has legs is again, they have they have a lot of people that are for it. And again, can you really blame them? At the end of the day, they're just trying to save as much money as they can. And I mean, at least myself, I couldn't really blame them since that's what I'm trying to do myself at the end of the day as well.
Makes sense. Yeah, definitely. It's a weird teeter totter balance of both worlds. Obviously, the worlds that are outside of the credit card rewards and maximization, like what the things we talk about, is a very small minutia compared to, I guess, the amount of small businesses and people who are worried about, all these interchange fees and whatnot. So it's pretty interesting. Actually, Oakland mentions here he's starting to notice it more and more, especially in small businesses. And I am too.
Exactly.
Just what you mentioned, I think maybe more like use cash and we'll give you good incentives and discounts and whatnot like that. So I think it's very very interesting. Did you also? I don't know if I'm completing this. In that video, did you also relate it back to like many years ago, like the debit card issues with like the Durbin laws and stuff like that? I think I remember
So,
you say that.
yep. So back in 2010, Congress had passed, and I might be wrong on this as far as the namings.
Yeah.
English is a second language. The Dodd-Frank Act, and in that there was I forgot what it was exactly called, but basically it did the exact same effect, but on debit cards. So what happened is that it created that second network on debit cards. And what you saw happen was that merchants would obviously, again, since it doesn't really matter which network they utilize, they obviously went with the cheaper option, which meant that the banks that issue those cards lost a lot of income. And how they try to make up for that income is charging higher fees, whether that was, a higher amount if you went negative on your account, overdraft protection or overdraft fees, as well as really not offering free checking accounts anymore. I might be aging
Hmm.
myself here, but back in the day, we always had free checking accounts. Like it doesn't matter how much you have on your checking account, as long as it's positive, you're good. But nowadays, we have a lot of accounts, or rather, a lot of banks, where you need to have a specific minimum balance
Hmm.
before they start charging you a fee, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's every bank. There's a lot of banks and credit unions where you can still go open an account and just leave it with $3, $2, and you'll be fine. But again, that was a consequence of the 2010 Dodd-Frank Act. So
Hmm.
what um, you know, a lot of people, including the Credit Union National Association president or CEO, is saying is that there's really a lot of issues with this bill, with this proposed bill, because they only want to create a second network. And that's as much as they got into it. Now,
Hmm.
this only affects Visa and Mastercard, obviously the two biggest ones. So it doesn't affect Discover and American Express. What's
Hmm.
funny is that those two are still in the realm of the conversation, just because they are two networks that are considered as a second option. So,
Hmm.
in the video that I did, I mentioned how crazy would it be if you could, process the transactions of your Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve card through the Amex network. Like, it
Yeah.
just sounded crazy to me. But either way, I say that to say that yes, those two networks are considered, but also they're also considering other networks that are, some of them are not in the country, and that's also an issue, a security issue, where you're
Hmm.
like, okay, so you want me to use my credit card that has all my important information, and we were going to use a different network that we don't know. And again, I'm not that well versed on it, to be honest. I might be
Hmm.
completely off,
Right.
but there's a higher chance that your credit card information might be stolen right off the bat. But either way, I'm getting a little bit off topic here. Getting back into the debit part, or the debit card part, yeah, this was done already, 2010. Right now, if you go in and use your debit card, that merchant that you're using will have two or three different options, and obviously they're just going to go with the cheapest option. But again, thanks to that, it has caused a lot of bank accounts to really, not a bank accounts, but a lot of banks to really go up on the fees that they charge.
Makes sense too. And the first thought I have when you're talking about checking accounts and paying fees is Chase with our total checking account. I think it's $15 if you're not having a minimum balance of 2K or something in there, which we didn't even realize because we usually kept that amount. And then like she went under for a second because she's transferring to Capital One for their savings. And they were like, wait, why was I charged 15? Although, funnily enough, if you like send them a letter in the private chat in the Chase like app, they'll actually waive it for you. I don't know how many times they will, but so far they waived it. It's like, oh, sorry about that inconvenience. Here's 15 back. So it's
Oh, that's funny.
just complain like, why had this happen? And they'll do that. So I think that's very interesting. And when you said it might be possible to have like, I swipe my Chase Sapphire Preferred and it get processed through American Express, processor. I'm like, I can't even fathom how that even makes sense in my mind because, we
Right.
just think swipe a card and then okay, that's it. It goes to the bank. But I'm guessing there's something on like the back end when you swipe with these versions that they can choose. I guess after the transaction occurs, which one they want to go on. I'm guessing.
Right. I mean, as far as the information that I got for the debit account or the debit cards, it was like as soon as you make that transaction, that merchant automatically has those
Oh,
network options. So
makes
it
sense.
just defaults to the cheapest one.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Man, that would
Yeah.
be so crazy. Because then, like you said, like it would make more sense. Like if this were to happen, for credit cards to some degree. I wonder if, like what you're saying is right. Like, okay, late penalty fees go up. Maybe like you said, maybe more money has to be in your checking accounts to waive a maintenance fee or something like that. I mean, because all that money is going to be lent out at a certain percentage, and that's going to make up the difference. So it's like now the Chase total checking it now $5,000. That's what you have to keep in there, and then I wonder how many people will be dissuaded from even setting up an account, or they'll just set up an account anyway, pay the 15 a month. Who knows? Um,
Right.
but
And again, I mean, I'm going to be honest. Obviously, I'm a credit card content creator, so I'm biased. I own up to that. But the two biggest issues, well, I might have more than two, but the two biggest ones that I can think of, what that's wrong with this bill is that it hasn't really been thought of, or that we haven't really had that information where they're putting it, step one, step two, step
yeah,
three, and all that good
true.
stuff. It's like, no, we just need another network. And when you say it that way, it's like, okay, I understand that you need a second network, but how are you going to go ahead and process this? The second issue that I have is that, you know, if this bill were to go in effect, and it will help small mom and pop shops, which I think we all agree, like, yeah, absolutely, they should have that ability, like they need to grow. They're the fundamental backbone of this country. Yeah, absolutely, they should have that help. But, you know, why should, big organizations like Walmart, Target have that help? And also, how will we know that those big organizations will pass the savings on to clients? Because that's also the biggest marketing with this bill. It's like if merchants get if merchants get more money whenever you process a transaction, they would just go ahead and pass that savings on to their clients. Well, that's great and all, sounds great, but even on the bill, there's nothing in writing that says merchants will have to do that. And again,
Hmm.
I put the mom and pop shops in one bucket, and those other merchants like Walmart and Target in a whole different bucket. And in my view, it's like, how are you going to make those? How are you going to make those large organizations pass on the savings to the clients?
Yeah, it's true. Because yeah, in one way they're probably thinking, well, I guess because keeping the prices exactly the same, but lack thereof, the higher raise, maybe 3% interchange fee, just equals more to the bottom line. So yeah, it'd be hard pressed to have them go out there, it's an earnings call and say we're not doing it, we're not lowering the interchange fees. Yeah, I wonder. That is
Right.
it's a crazy world. So I just thought that was very interesting. You made a whole video on it, and I knew nothing really about it until you talked about it. And the way you framed it all made sense to me. So it's pretty wild. But on more of a slightly lighter note, I wanted to ask you because you did a video a couple months ago that I saw about the Venturex card. So I guess you were looking for more of a premium card. I guess your life or maybe your work is making you travel a little bit more than maybe like once a year or twice a year, something like that. So I guess you wanted more access to like lounges and all these different things. So I wanted to just ask you, now having been removed for 2 months, how do you feel with your Venture X? Do you feel you're still happy with it? Everything's going perfectly?
No, man, I hate it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
No,
no.
No, I absolutely love the Venture X credit card, but I will preface it. I will say this before I say that the Venture X credit card is the best credit card.
Oh,
I'm a lazy person by nature. I want to make sure that everything I do, I don't have to do more than two or three steps. And also, as you mentioned, yes, about 4-ish months ago, I was able to transition into a different role where I definitely needed to travel more often. Traveling now, I want to say basically every other month, at least twice. So I have some videos that I still have to edit about the hotels and the lounges that I've been able to visit thanks to the Venture X credit card. But in my view, I just needed a credit card that would offer the access to lounges. And again, I haven't really been to lounges, so yes, I would have loved to get into the lounges that the American Express Platinum card has to offer, but I didn't really need to go that high and bougie right off the bat. Like
right.
any good old airport lounge would do, in my view. So I knew right there that okay, I needed that. The annual fee is much lower, okay, and the credits that offset that annual fee were just easier to use, to be honest with you. I don't have an issue with the Chase Sapphire Reserve or the Amex Platinum, but I just think that, with Adventure X, I was able to basically negate the annual fee within the first 2 weeks of having the card. I did that by first booking a hotel stay here in August or September. My family and I were going to a dude ranch out in Montana, and we just need a one night stay. So I'm like, cool, all right, let me go ahead and use the Venture X card, go through their travel portal. One night stay, $300. I'm like, God dang, okay, that's a lot, but okay, I'll go ahead
Wow.
and book it right away, getting that $300 credit.
Hmm.
Also, I went ahead and what was the other part? Oh my goodness, I'm blanking out right now. Um,
Miles, one of them offer points back, lounges.
Right, with the lounges, obviously I wanted to have that access, and also something else that I'm forgetting. I'm sure it's gonna come back to me. But right there, the $300 credit, I negated to $95, and that's what I currently pay for my Chase Sapphire Preferred as well the higher credit card. So to me, $95 just seemed like okay, that's more than enough. Been able to visit, I think, four different lounges, or not four different, but in four separate occasions, I've been able to visit lounges and, getting drinks and food. To me, that's well worth the $95 that I have yet to make up.
Nice. That's pretty cool. So which lounges have you been to so far? Did you do the Capital One lounge?
You did the Denver one, yep,
Denver one.
and have been to Charlotte through
Nice.
Priority Pass, yep.
Nice. How was that
Yes.
Denver one?
Denver, oh, that was absolutely beautiful, stunning. What's fun is that I went to the Charlotte one first, the Priority Pass
Yeah.
Charlotte, and I thought, oh my God, this is life right here. I see why people want to get into a lounge whenever they're traveling. And then I went to the one in Denver, and yeah, man, that just blew my socks off. Like I. I'm trying to make it a point to make sure that that's my layover location every time I fly now.
Right? That's how I feel. Like if I'm flying, well, luckily I'm in a place with no hub, so I have, a small plane I got to take me to Atlanta to do any type of, transition to a new place. So Atlanta, I got all the billion freaking lounges, so I'm like, all right, going to this, we can go down the Sky Lounge if I do this flight, or now they do Centurion Lounge, which is very, very cool.
Oh,
So that's,
and now I remember it was a TSA pre-check credit. I completely forgot about that. So
oh,
again,
right.
since I didn't travel that much before, I barely travel once, twice a year on a lucky year. Well, I figured I might as well get the TSA pre-check just to skip security lines, and yeah, so I was able to utilize that. And again, instead of that $395 annual fee that they charge right away, I was able to negate it to I think it was about $18,
Yeah.
$16 for an effective annual fee, and again, been to four different lounges in the span of a few months. So I think that was well worth it.
Oh, yeah.
And again, it was just ease of doing business with a Venture X credit card. I'm not gonna say that it's the best luxury credit card, but it was just the ease of doing business.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So and that's like the common theme, especially talking actually to Cesar right here. So Ventrex is a great card, and more of those that travel with their families. Team Platinum with Ventrex is a solid second place. Hey, Cesar, it's coming up the list now. I don't remember you saying second. I thought you said it was like the last, like the word. Oh no, I think you're saying CSR is the word. Um, but no, that's like the thing. It's like that one phrase that Cesar said that always stuck with me is like the Ventrex, very easy to justify, but not able to cover, I guess, your entire travel experience, like a platinum would with like hotel statuses and
Right.
all these different things, I guess. But that's the thing. It's like easy to justify. And you said, "Oh, you're a lazy person." There's not much you really have to do to reap
Exactly.
all the benefits. And I think that's the main thing. I think some people sometimes forget. Like, okay, I think some people like forget the fact. Like, okay, if you just have a $0 annual fee Venturex, okay, so you use the credits, whatever. Okay, it's like that's all you're getting. That's it. But I guess part of why you get a card like that is like you said, and you said in your video too, which is I want to go to these lounges. I have to fly more often. So for you, if you've done 4 lounges so far, I mean, what's the dollar amount on? Well, not only your peace of mind, but, just good luxury, and you're just hanging in a cool place, but all the food and the drinks you get, and
I
everything in
got
there.
tipsy. I'll tell you that much. I got tipsy, okay?
That's it. How many drinks do you think you've gotten over those last 4? How many think?
Um, I would have to take a wild guess. There definitely 2 shots of tequila each time, a glass of wine twice,
Oh,
and
nice.
3 margaritas, and I think a couple of
Jeez.
beers.
Oh my God. Okay, so you got everything, everything but Tito's vodka. Um,
Hey, they said it, Tito's vodka, right?
yeah, yeah.
Well,
So
that might
it's
be the one thing I need to get next time.
that's what you got to go for. You have to put a name tag. My name's Tito, and you need Tito's vodka.
Right.
But there's like a dollar amount for that, and the times that I went to escape lounges and all these different ones, the food that was there's a certain dollar amount. Maybe you wouldn't have eaten anyway. Who cares? But also just like getting drunk before the flight's pretty cool. Getting a bunch of wine. I personally do a lot of wine, but here's another
Mm.
thing that I believe Kiki mentioned on one of her maybe community posts was that she asked everyone, "Do you tip like the bartenders who are at the lounges?" And you do? You do tip them?
Yes, sir. Always ask them either if they accept cash or if I don't have cash, what their Venmo is or Cash App.
Oh, really? So, at least the ones that I went to my first time going to all these lounges, I didn't know. I didn't think about it. I just thought,
Mm.
okay, it's a lounge. I didn't think of it as like a separate, like you would at any other bar and restaurant. So I never tipped, and maybe people make me feel bad about it now, but I gave them a good smile. I said thanks, but
That
but I didn't
million
realize it's
dollar
a
one
thing.
smile.
Yes,
That's more than
exactly.
enough.
Right. Yes. Yes. Luckily, we didn't get too much. A lot of the stuff was I grabbed the stuff myself, but I didn't realize like a few drinks that we did get. And I think my wife even asked me like, "Are we supposed to tip? Like, is that normal?" I said, "Oh, no, it's allowed. We get the card. We get." So I didn't
Right.
realize that was a thing.
I mean, to be honest with you, I wasn't really aware of that either. I just, again, the first time I think I had like a 3 hour layover in
Hmm.
Charlotte, first time in a lounge, and so I was just drinking, having fun, having conversation with the bartender, and just because I was there for a good 45 minutes just drinking, I kind of noticed that other people were tipping, so I'm like, let me
Uh,
not be that guy. Let me not be that
yeah.
guy that is at the bar the longest and doesn't leave anything. So I'm like, yeah, I might as well. So again, I'm just
Makes
doing
sense.
it now just to be nice. And also,
Yes.
um, I kind of did something that I never thought I would do at an airport, and that was to take a shower at the Charlotte
Really?
airport. Yeah, yeah, you're able to schedule a shower, and surprisingly, it was comfortable. I don't know
That
if
was
I'm
in
gonna.
Priority Pass.
Yep, it was
Huh.
the club at the. I think it was. I forgot which one it was, but well, rather they only have one. So yeah, it's the only one at the
Uh,
Charlotte airport.
wow. So with that, so what do they give you in the shower? Is there like shower gel and all these different things? Like a hotel?
uh, Honestly, yeah, it was basically like a hotel. Now, the only thing is that you had to go to the app and book a time. So it wasn't like, oh,
Mhm.
let me just walk in and take a shower and
Yeah.
whatnot. So again, 3 hour layover, had nothing but time. So waited
Yeah.
and yeah, went in and yeah, it was honestly like your regular hotel shower, soap. You know,
Wow.
it's not a thing that I'm super proud of, but I felt refreshed right afterwards.
Hey man, you walk out, and wait, is that connected to the lounge itself? Like where I
Yeah.
guess they get food and stuff. Interesting. I wonder if people walk out in the towel and like, how's it going? Pick up the eggs, go back in the towel. I wonder. Oh
Let me
God.
try that next time, and then
Yeah.
I'll let you know, calling you
Uh,
from jail.
yeah. Shit, that's right. That's right. Yes, we'll have to hit bail or whatever. That's so funny. Something here that I thought was interesting was Keith asked, "Hey man, what's up, Keith?" He said, "Does the insurance guy, so Tito, like the insurances that the Venture X offers?" So that's something that a lot of people don't necessarily get into the nitty gritty because there's so many different nuances to insurance. And if you're in the insurance game, what do you think about the Venture X's like, you know, insurances behind the scenes? Anything?
So they sound great. Haven't used them.
It's a lot
Sound
of insurance, huh?
exceptional, yeah. And first I will say that, if you have any questions on life insurance, I'm your guy. But general insurance, I wouldn't know.
Hmm.
And
Makes sense.
again, looking at their website or their card offerings, it sounds phenomenal, but I would say the same thing about almost any credit card. So,
Yeah.
I don't want to lie to you. I haven't had a chance to utilize it, and I hope I don't have to
Hmm.
use it anytime soon.
No, definitely, definitely. I think it's a lot of things. 'Cause I've been learning a lot in the Discord recently by some folks, especially Space, who talks about. Um, it's just like, oh, when what type of disaster does this actually kick in at, and what type of situations? Like so many different things that maybe we think we're protected in a lot of ways with some of
Right.
our cards, but a lot of times we're not. Amex has to be round trip, but actually it's not round trip. It can be one-way flights, but as long as you end in the same place, it's like Jesus, man, there's too much, and it's supposed to be a bit confusing, I bet, for both sides. I'd imagine.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm sure there's a lot of loopholes and like, hey, you have to meet this, this, this in order for us to even consider it. I'm sure that's the
yeah.
case. So again, hopefully they're good. That's all I can really
that's
say.
that's right. I also, oh yeah, I actually wanted to ask you too. Chad Pennycoff, he says, not gonna lie, I'd be cussing Capital One if they didn't give me a duo. Same for Keith, he's bitter. Do you
Mm,
have the Saver one too, or no? I don't think
no,
so.
no. I'm looking into that card as well. But no, right now I only have the Venture X card. And when looking over the credit cards that I get, I'll be honest with you, I only get two, three a year.
Hmm.
And that's just because I really want to get as much juice as I can. And obviously, I know the best way to get as many points as possible is welcome bonuses, but
Yeah,
I really need to have a game plan set and how I'm going to utilize that credit card for a good 3 to 6 months after getting the card. But yeah,
gotcha.
that's one of the next cards that I definitely want to get. So we'll see.
Cool, man. I actually got some love from Chad's Money Minutes here. My man Tito.
Chad.
And then we
I love
also
Chad.
Chad's great. Yeah, he's
Mhm.
he's always killing it. But also Kit Kat, my man, 10 spot. It's a good color too. Good gold. I appreciate it. He said I always tip. You'll get served a lot faster. Huh. Not sure what that
Oh,
emoji is. On the second drink. Also, the lounges save me a ton on food when traveling. I value them at $28 per visit, which I think is fair. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm trying to think, like, well, for me, I mean, if you're actually going to value, I remember taking like literally maybe 10 plates of food the last time I think I was at the Centurion, like 10 different plates. I'm not even kidding. And I think like 2 glasses of wine. I try to go crazy, as much as I can possibly get those calories in if you can. But okay,
hey,
so
I get
always
it.
tip. Hey man, I'll plug it again, just because I have it right next to me. What I'm gonna do is I gotta go get some more actually, because I'm running out. My $2 bills. That's the best tipping device,
Oh,
baby.
yeah, it is.
Get those two
Yeah,
dollar
it
bills.
is.
I like the back too. I just like the shoulder back. It's really nice.
Mm,
But I gotta go grab some more from my local bank. And so when I go to lounges, I'll give them the $2 bills, and maybe they'll do it even faster. They'll be like, "Wow, that's really cool." I'm gonna give you more, more drinks, more drinks.
right.
So I appreciate that, Kit Kat. Thank you for the tip here, and the tip, both tips, the info and the 10 spot. I appreciate you, man. Um, Definitely makes a lot of sense. I also want to ask. I think that was all I wanted to ask on the lounge talk. So the lounges are really nice and everything. I also want to ask you too, because you just mentioned, I thought it was probably very interesting, is you used the 300 credit on a dude ranch. What's
Oh,
what's the deal with the dude ranch?
right. So my family and I were going to go to a dude ranch for a whole week in Montana.
Hmm.
But obviously we need to arrive there, so we need at least a one night stay before the whole dude ranch experience kicks in.
Hmm.
So I knew that was coming up, so I figured might as well, this is a perfect time to get the Venture X credit card. I'm traveling. I need all these benefits, the lounge included. So yeah, went ahead, got the card, and then as soon as I got the card, I went ahead and booked that one night hotel stay that was basically $310, I think, just for one
Hmm.
night at a Marriott. So again, I'm sure I probably
Uh,
could have found a different way to get it cheaper, but I just wanted to make sure that I got that $300 credit out of the way.
gotcha, gotcha. So that should be fun. Is there any like activities to do over there, or you have anything planned like that?
Oh, absolutely. Not gonna go horseback riding, I'm a little bit too big, too heavy. I already talked to the rancher. They're like, no, you're good. No, 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 I'm too heavy for that. But four wheeling go. They also have arrow fishing. And
Hmm.
apparently something that I never even heard of is arrow. What's it called? Arrow tag. Like you can go with an arrow and ta play tag.
Oh God, just shoot people with the hopefully not a sharp tip, but
No,
you know.
not sure, but apparently like it's rubberized. So I'm like, oh,
Interesting.
I am doing that. And the best part is also that,
Hmm.
we're taking our kids, and they have babysitters and all that stuff. They have activities for the
Oh.
kids. So for us parents, it's just gonna be, hey, whatever you want to do. But to be honest, yes, there's a lot of great activities that they have, but probably the best one that I personally want to do is, just take a six pack of beer, walk up a mountain, and just sit and enjoy the view and be completely disconnected of everything.
That's very cool. I love that too. Actually, now I'm just thinking about like the arrow tag. Like that is probably pretty cool. It's like airsoft. I used to play airsoft a
Right?
lot back in the day, but you just like chasing people down. That was like a game everyone used to play, right? Like Cowboys and
Right.
Indians or something. But I guess maybe that's not PC anymore. Who knows? Can't say Cowboy and Indian. It's Native
Well,
American. Uh,
it all depends on where you grew up. I was
yeah,
born and raised in Mexico. I was,
really.
until I was 10 years old, I lived in Mexico. So soccer was definitely the game that we always played, and we didn't
Hmm.
need a soccer ball to play. We just needed anything. Like the best soccer ball that I think we ever had was just one of these, an empty one of these.
Oh, really? Yes.
Quick bottle, and yeah, hours of fun.
Wow, wow. So can I ask a little bit about that? Like just growing up
Yeah,
in Mexico
yeah,
and everything like that?
I'm an open book.
Gotcha. Because when I was a driving teacher in New York, I used to meet a lot of folks who were from Mexico, and they would tell me stories about how they came here and stuff like that. Do you have any, I guess, tales to share just growing up there, or anything, I don't know, that is different from American life now as being here?
Yeah, it was a world of difference, in good ways and bad ways, starting with, it really makes me appreciate what I have now, and what I can do. Growing up, we didn't have paved roads. We didn't have a
Hmm.
hospital in the town that I grew up. We didn't have a police station in the town that I grew up. The closest police station and hospital was about an hour drive, if that. So we kind of were left to our own devices, if you would. No running water, nothing like that. So it was kind of
Wow.
like, surviving in farm. But surprisingly, it was, you didn't really hear about people getting sick. You always just you knew your neighbors, you knew the other towns around you. It was great. It was happy living, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
Almost every family would grow crops or would have animals, and you know they would sell and exchange and all that,
Yeah.
and it was fun. But at the same time, obviously, poverty was a constant issue that all of us had to deal with.
Hmm.
And, that now kind of makes me appreciate a lot of the stuff that I have, like being able to buy my own home, being able to work in life insurance, even though it sounds excruciatingly boring. I find it fascinating. And being able to travel, like if you would have told that to 10-year-old Tito that was out there just getting the field ready to plant seeds, that he was going to be traveling to different states to talk about life insurance, I would have never believed you. So again, it was a good and bad. Like, yes, there wasn't a lot of resources, but it was much more of a family feeling, much more of a friendly feeling because everybody was there for you.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, if 10-year-old Tito didn't know that he'd be taking a shower in the Charlotte Prairie Pants Lounge. He's
He
like,
did.
what? But man, that's pretty interesting. So you were, I guess, were you in charge of part of the farm? I guess for you said you were planting seeds and stuff. How's that all work?
Yeah, just because my dad, he was travel. I mean, he would only be able to go and visit us for 2 weeks. 2 weeks that he would get PTO or vacation from his
Hmm.
job, and then he would have to fly back here. So yeah, otherwise I was quote unquote the man of the house, so I had to
Hmm.
help out my mom and make sure that that was taken care of. And yeah, so I want to say that I worked the land, but it wasn't that hard. Like my uncles would help out doing the really hard stuff. So I don't want to put the wrong image here that,
Okay.
oh yeah, I was out there, from sun up to sundown. No,
Right.
no, but I still had to work there had
Yeah.
to go out and work every day. So yeah, no, I mean, what's funny is that um, if you had a party, whether it was a quinceañera, wedding, or whatnot, like the
Hmm.
whole town would come together. Like we had like a megaphone that you would make announcements. So instead of calling
Oh.
people,
Oh,
you
really?
wouldn't. You would just go up there, pay 20, 40, 50 pesos, and then they would make the announcement like, if you have free time, go to Sandra's quinceañera at 3:30 and whatnot. And everybody would
Wow.
show up and would have a blast. And something else that, now thinking about it, it's like, wow, that was so great, is that whenever somebody passed away, we would mourn their body for 3 nights. So
Oh,
everybody in the town would go in, pay their respects, and say good stuff about that individual. And then on the third day, whenever they were taking that individual to the funeral, everybody in that town would follow. So, whenever you would see somebody at their funeral, you wouldn't just see
hmm.
their family. You would see at least a good 100, if not 150 people there that was just mourning their death. And yeah, I know death is, kind of not a great subject to mention, but it was the aspect of how you did it. And obviously now working in life insurance is like I have to talk about it. Like that's what feeds my family. I have to talk about death because it's part of life.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. That's really interesting. Do you almost feel like because you're in Pennsylvania, you said, um,
Yeah.
and do you live in like a community of people, or is it like you have your own house, but is it like a lot of people in your area?
Yeah, yeah, no, it's a suburban town. So there's, definitely have some neighbors and it's great. So yeah, no, it's not that I'm living out and got my own farm. Now that's the ultimate goal right there. Maybe in my 40s,
Yeah.
50s, buy myself a good farm and just go back to work in the fields. That's the dream right there. But no, no, right now
Wow.
it's great.
No, isn't it so interesting though? Like, because I'm in an apartment here, and there's a bunch of people all next to me, and it's like not a lot, but it's an apartment building, so you have a bunch of people all on top of each other. But do I ever have I ever met my neighbors? No, I never have. We're all just two ships passing in the night somehow. So do you almost feel like, yeah, sure, like you said, there's some issues of poverty and stuff like that, but almost maybe a way of life that is more connected to the people around you there. Almost maybe when you have less, you might be more connected to the people around you. And now living here or where you are, Pennsylvania, or here in South Carolina, it's like you almost barely have that familial or camaraderie you have with your fellow man just walking out and about. Everybody gets in their car and or their own secluded house, and there's no more connections. Do you almost feel like that's something that's kind of lost in American culture to a degree?
I mean, I wouldn't even say American culture. I guess it's just, it could happen anywhere. I know
Hmm.
have some family still in Mexico where, they live in the city and they're like, yeah, I don't have no idea who my neighbor is.
Oh, okay.
But right now in my current, in PA, yeah, I have neighbors, and I know want to say about 75% of the people that live around me. What's
Wow.
funny though is that my next door neighbor, I have no idea. I don't know what's his name. Now, in my defense, he is a 22-year-old guy. Let me make sure I don't say
Careful,
too
yeah.
much.
He's a
That likes to
POS.
party on the weekends. Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
I can't be too mad because I was in his shoes not too long ago. I
Hmm.
bought this house when I was 24, 25, and
Wow.
I was him back in the day, throwing parties on a weekend and having a blast. My best friend, my brother, basically, he lived here and he was my roommate. So can you just
Hmm.
imagine that? Like two dudes
Yeah.
just having a blast every weekend. Now, it was great until one of my neighbors told us that she thought that we were in a romantic relationship. So, we
Hmm.
had to let her know that was not the case.
Oh.
But again, it was just I can't fault him for that. But at the same time, it's like I don't know him. I don't know his life. I
Yeah.
don't know what he's doing and whatnot. So yeah, I don't know if I would say that it's so much on American culture. It's much more on you know that need that
Hmm.
you can't do it yourself or that you need somebody else's assistance because all of you are struggling. So again, whether it's here in the US, Mexico, Cuba, any other country you can mention, it's just that need for assistance and that ability to help out your fellow man and knowing that when you're in need, somebody else is gonna help you, or at least hope that they will.
I see. I see. I also want to bring up Michael Wong. He said, what's going on, Mike? He said, Tito's story of quinceañera reminds me of how it is in Asia. Small communities support each other and they all attend the events. Interesting. Hmm. Um, and I guess I wanted to ask you too. So I guess when you were 10, so what was the process like of coming to America that first time? Was it something where you're like, oh, your dad took you, or is there anything special or hard about that?
There's nothing really special. It's just the fact that it kind of took so long to process.
Hmm.
To give you an idea, my dad started the process of getting us a visa to emigrate from Mexico when I was born, like literally a month after I was born.
Wow.
But it took a little bit over a decade for it to process and get everything done. From what I
Jeez.
hear, it's a lot longer now. So, uh, I guess I should feel lucky that it only took 10 years to process.
Yeah.
But when it was time to emigrate, it was in February of 2002. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, that was right after the 9/11 attacks, and my family, including my mom, didn't feel so confident about flying on planes for
Hmm.
obvious reasons. So we thought, okay, well, I guess we'll take a bus. And I was like, great, great, 3 days and 3 nights, okay.
Right.
Uh, but no, yeah, that's exactly what we did. We got on a bus and we just drove from Michoacan, Mexico. Like it's a good 2 3 hours west of Mexico City, so central Mexico,
Hmm.
all the way up here to northeast here in Pennsylvania. And
Wow.
I got to see how Mexico was compared to the U.S. Literally town by town by town, state by state by state. And it was a world of difference. I'll say that. I still remember it just because, unlike everybody else, for whatever reason, nobody wanted to sit next to me. So I had a whole bench to myself. So I could actually sleep at night and had, some flexibility, if you would.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was the longest bus ride of my life. 3 days and 3 nights.
I can imagine just being that young too, and just like seeing the new sights. Like we have some trees here, and then okay, there's a building. Wherever we're passing, I don't know the actual route, but that must be pretty wild to kind of see at that age. Huh? I can really
Right,
imagine,
right. Now I
especially.
wish.
Mhm.
Mhm.
No,
No,
go
I
ahead.
wish that I could remember the
Uh,
mountains, the desert, because I do remember just seeing it and just being awed. But obviously, being 10 years old, it was like, oh, I'm going to the U.S., I'm going to the U.S. So I didn't take in the ride
uh,
as much as I wish I would have, and when I say that, it sounds like a lot. It sounds horrific, not horrific, but it sounds painful in a way, maybe. But that, pales in comparison to what my grandfather had to do as far as immigrate. He
Yeah.
had those stories that is like, no, no, it was 3 days and 3 nights, but he was walking around. He wasn't in a
Wow.
bus.
Jeez. Yeah, I've heard those
Yeah.
stories myself from folks. Well, I don't know why they would tell me these things, but they would tell me like how they made it through the border and they did stuff like that, and they would pay some peyotes and take them for 2 grand. It would some. He was like, "Oh, we had like 3 pizzas. It took us 3 nights. Like very, like I'm like, wow, to make it to New York, I should say. So now
Yeah.
I understand the 3 day time frame now.
Right.
So I don't know why they would tell me that, but yes, that's crazy, crazy
Oh, yeah,
to be able to do all that.
and by the way, just so everybody knows, my grandfather just became a U.S. citizen about 4 years ago, so
Oh, that's
he
nice.
worked his way.
I figured it was like a long time ago. What about living here? So you said, yeah, like English is your second language. How was that? Did you start learning in Mexico, or did you start learning here?
So when I arrived here, I knew yes and no and 1 to 10 in English,
Uh,
and that was it. That's all I knew. So it was me and my little sister, and they did right by her. They put her in ESL, English as a second
yeah.
language. Excuse me, on that in that program. For whatever reason, they didn't do the same to me. They just dropped me off right on fifth, just in Mrs. Whitehall's fifth grade English class, just
Oh,
with
wow.
everybody else. Now, I am so thankful to Puerto Ricans because my class was full of Puerto Ricans. So in some
Uh,
way, they just told me like what the issue was or what the problem was, what the subject was, and I was able to get away with it, and somehow still got a passing grade. You know, when I was learning English that way, and also, I do want to say that the easiest class those couple of years it was definitely math, because hey,
well,
five
that's
still
true.
is still five. I know that
Yes,
one. And
I
as
know
soon as they
that.
started putting in those word problems, I was like, oh God, here we go.
Makes sense.
Um, but obviously, the following year they did put me in ESL and started
Uh,
learning English. But what's funny is that my best teacher, or the best teacher that I found to learn the English language, was TV. Was watching cartoons that I've
hmm.
come to love and come to enjoy. Like to this day, I'm a 33-year-old man and I'm still watching cartoons, and I'm not ashamed of it. Ask my wife, and she's gonna give you a different response. She's ashamed that her
It's a
33-year-old
problem.
husband is still
Yes.
watching cartoons.
Well, I guess it
But
depends
what's
what cartoon too.
right? I mean, like Ed and Eddie, Courage the Cowardly Dog,
Okay,
Dexter's
yeah.
Laboratory, like those classics.
Man, courage is one of the most. I don't know if it's underrated, but a lot of people sleep on Courage of how just crazy that show actually actually was. These two grandparents are oblivious to everything that's happening,
Right?
and Courage is the one who has to handle all of the issues. But then the issues, like like disgusting giant feet that have like fungus and stuff. Spiders that are stealing them. Like really nutty thoughts. Whoever those writers were. And some adult things like Quentin Tarantino, the zombie, was in that one of their shows. I'm like, why? Why'd you go write this for a young crowd? It's nuts. It's nuts. But I'm with you. Yeah. So those shows are
Right.
good.
No, what's funny is that now my 9-year-old son, him and I, we still watch it. Like he is
Uh,
into that cartoon. So on these weekends when he doesn't have anything else to watch, it's like let's just watch some good old cartoons, and he
yeah.
enjoys them. So that should mean something, right? They're so good that they're still being enjoyed 10, 20 years afterwards.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And let me ask too, because I always find this funny. So I guess you had this divergence where you learned through Hard Knocks and these are the Puerto Ricans in your class, and your sister. I don't know if she did the same thing, but at least she was in ESL. Who do you
Right.
think had the better English after that first year?
Oh, for sure. Me.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about
exactly.
it.
It's exactly. I love it. It's
I love her, but yeah, no, it was a trial by fire. Like after a year and a half, I was out there helping my mom with her doctor appointments,
mm,
helping my dad doing his tax returns. It was I had to learn. I had no
I,
option.
I love it. It's like it's one of those things. Like so people try to be so meticulous with it, but as long as you just throw yourself in there and just trial by fire. immerse yourself in whatever it is. You're almost forced, to be, to get it to a. Because I mean, like no matter what, you want to have some sort of, stabilization. So anytime something's like horrible, you want to fix it. So if I have all this trouble speaking to people, it's like, okay, how can I fix it? So every day it just becomes your whole life just to try to fix this. Okay, here's a new word, and then after a year, you're killing it. Talking to doctors like my mom does not want that. Something like that. So that's
Right?
cool.
Yeah, no, and what's funny is that now I'm having the opposite problem, and that's why I have so much respect for Cesar, that he does everything in Spanish. I feel like I'm so good in my English that my Spanish is starting to waver. I think I'm
Oh
starting to
no.
forget some of my Spanish. So I know I've had plans of doing, a podcast or an episode like this with Cesar, but it's that
Yep.
little fear where I'm like, oh. My Spanish is good, but his Spanish is from the motherland, and there's a
Yeah.
difference.
Right. Right.
So we'll see how it goes this Wednesday. Hopefully my
Oh,
Spanish
it's this Wednesday.
competes. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Hopefully I'm not. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sister. It's Thursday. I think he
Okay,
goes
this Thursday.
live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and yeah, I'm gonna be there with him. And like I said, hopefully my Spanish can keep up with his.
That's great. Oh, I didn't even. Maybe I don't know. I don't think I knew that, but that's great. That's funny that this happened on the
Hmm.
same week. Wow. So
Right?
that's good. So I'm rooting for you. I'll stop in and see what the Spanish sounds like.
Appreciate
Not
it.
like I can judge it, but you know, um, that's funny. Juan Garcia says cartoon talk with the Staten Island Oprah. What's going on? I'm the Staten Island Oprah
Hey.
now, apparently. So that's just how it is. So yeah, we always can talk about cartoons. That's great. What's going on, Juan? And see, Ian, you had a question, but I think Keith got you. Yeah, reconsideration line. How long do you wait to decline? Keith says you can wait right away, or call right away. Usually, I'll say like 24 hours for it to get fully in the system.
No.
But yeah, if it's for the documents, yeah, right away, like you said, Keith. Okay, so that's cool. So along with that, love you, Anthony. I'm back. That's insane. I never got a love you yet, so that's new. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you. Okay, so I think that was everything. Well, actually, no. You know what? Michael Wong had a question for you. I wanted to bring up, just because just get your opinion on it. You said, so I know Tito has the Hyatt card. Is he a Hyatt loyalist or a free agent?
Oh, oh.
Oh,
I would definitely say I'm a bit of a loyalist right now,
oh.
just because every all my Chase Ultimate Reward points, I'm transferring them to Hyatt. Like right now,
Mhm.
especially now that I'm about to be a dad pretty soon, I don't see myself traveling internationally. Maybe
Mhm.
some domestic travel, but otherwise, I think how I'm gonna burn through my points is through hotel stays. And for that, even though I would definitely say that Marriott and Hilton has probably the better hotels overall. I would probably still stick with Hyatt just because of the cent per point valuation, and just because the way my wife and I look at hotels is that we just need a place to sleep. We just need a place to
Mhm.
drop our stuff off, go out, come back, sleep, and then go back out. So in that regard, I'm still going on the cent per point valuation. So yeah, for the next year, 2 years, I would definitely say I'm a Hyatt loyalist.
Nice. And Michael almost has a follow up. Do you have plans to get elite status, maybe through work travel and whatnot to get globalist? Can you get globalist?
That's actually a work in progress. Yeah,
Really?
I'm trying. Thankfully, I can connect everything through my work travel. So yeah, all the Hyatt stays that I'm currently doing, it's helping me. So
Nice.
we'll see. Hopefully,
That's pretty crazy. Cool.
even
Those
though
benefits.
even though I know Matt did a great video on this about Hyatt thinking about coming out with a luxury travel credit card, and his video was awesome, by the way. But I'm such a loyalist right now, and for this next year and a half to 2 years, that I would seriously consider getting that card, even though I already have the $95 version of it.
Yeah, same, same actually. Yeah, and same time frame too. I plan to be like all in high for the next couple of years until I exhaust. all the ink cards and all the points, possible. So I'm with you there, and I probably would. Yeah, I would get the higher tier. It depends what the category for the free night certificate. If it comes with a free night certificate, I should say. But if it should,
Right.
and if it's like category 1 to 7, 1 to 8, I'm like, oh yeah, that's easy value. For maybe a $400 annual fee card, I'm all about that.
Right. But yeah, no, Michael, I think he just did a great video on Marriott, where I think he used, and I might be wrong, but I think he used the welcome bonus of like 5 nights free stay to go to Cancun or a different place in Mexico. And see, I think that the other hotels have a better credit card offering overall. It's just that cent per point valuation that I love so much of Hyatt. So being honest with you, when it comes to hotels overall and the credit card offerings, I think the other hotels have a better offering. It's just that for me right now, it's all about getting the most bang for my buck whenever I look to stay. So, but again, I don't have much of a status. Yeah, I have Discovers thanks to the World of Hyatt credit card, but it's not. I'm not gonna say it's out of this world. No, it's just it gets me a late checkout and a free bottle of water. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Keith actually came in hot too. 10 super chat, man. I appreciate you. Damn. That's right. I did see that yesterday. I earned Bilt Gold status and was able to get $10 back on my Amex Gold for Shake Shack. Are you just saying that those two things both happened exclusively, or are you saying they connect? Are they connected somehow? But Bilt Gold status, man. Yeah, I was wondering how you're going to get that on his way to platinum. He's going to get some crazy bonuses and multipliers down the line. Keith, how you feel about those the Bilts? Whatever this month, I heard that people are unhappy. We were talking about it. Matter of fact, you know what? I should bring it up just for the hell of it, like I showed you off camera. I don't know if you guys know the dude who's the CEO of Bilt. This one's for you, Keith. Just had a wedding, and his name's Encore. So he's the CEO, and he is just going ham. Wait, oh gosh, he's going ham getting married over in friggin' Giza. I mean, that's crazy. He's killing it. So people are saying like, well, this is why the Bilt transfer bonus or whatever is not that great this month. Is he's just killing it, with this wedding. So, and this
I was about to say, hey, if considering the credit card doesn't have an annual fee, I think we can stomach 1 month of not great benefits.
Absolutely. I just thought that was so funny. Oh God. So I appreciate you, Keith, and Good Catch from earlier as well. Thank you for the super chats. Thank my people. Appreciate it. Spill the tea. That was it, T. That was the. Oh God. Anchor had to cash out his AA miles. Oh Lord. Oh, that's funny. So there's I was just scrolling through that earlier, and I was just laughing. Like, go through his stories. Seriously, go through his stories, and it's all videos. Whoever's watching, and he's got like Robin Thicke there. He's got Lindsey Sterling, violinist. He's just going ham. Actually, Josh Butler brought this up to me earlier, and he showed me that. I was like, this is too funny. He's just too crazy. Oh God. Bilt is worth $3.1 billion. He's doing well. Oh yeah, I know. I think he just hit billionaire status. So he's killing it.
Nice.
And what's going on, JP?
I was about to say it will be interesting to see how Bilt is in the next coming years. I think depending on their marketing strategy and what they're looking to implement, they could seriously be up there as being probably the top credit card to get. Like right now, I am just waiting for mortgage payments, and maybe I might have missed the communication, but until that happens, I'm probably not going to get the card. But otherwise, they're doing phenomenal, specifically with their marketing and just hitting those points that I think most of us appreciate when it comes to the multipliers and the benefits overall.
They really seem to be covering all sections of the market that a lot of us care about, for sure. And it seems to be only getting better just with everything they do month to month. I just wish that we can get just a bird's eye view of the financials. I would love to see
Right.
what's their bottom line and what's their margins on everything. Because I mean, valuation at 3 point something billion. I mean, I don't know what multiple they're actually attaching to that valuation,
Mm.
but I just love to see those numbers, just to see what the deal is. But obviously, we're not going to get those numbers unless
Right.
they go public one day. Um, it would be really
Well,
cool.
you never know. You never know. There's always a possibility, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I also wanted to bring up some fun things here that I had. Actually, I realized I actually could have brought it up, but I forgot. But this was you talking about the Venture X. Um, this was you talking about the credit card rewards and all that stuff. But you also had on your channel really interesting videos that when I was scrolling through, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Really unique videos that I haven't seen anyone do before. More specifically, kind of like best credit cards to buy a new iPhone on. So that I think I have seen maybe once or twice over the years, but nothing, you did that very well. But then also
Thank
like
you.
these are the credit cards your favorite wrestlers use. And I was like, that is so unique, interesting. And I watched it, and apparently, hold on, Ric Flair, he uses the Amex Black Card. Is that you
Oh,
think he uses that?
absolutely. What's it called? William Dillian. Oh, I can't even think about it. Woo! That's
um,
all I can remember.
something something time, yeah. Wheelin' dealin'. Well, limousine riding, jet flying, wheelin' dealin', son of a gun, right?
Oh, okay. So you're a fan too, huh?
I'm a fan. Yeah, I could be a fan for sure. You said John Cena used the Hilton Aspire. The Rock uses the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Stone Cold Venture X. Oh, so Stone Cold likes Venture X. Do you think you're more like a Stone Cold type, or what type of wrestler do you think you're more in line with?
Uh, I would say I'm much more, and yeah, it's gonna sound like I'm a little biased, and I am, like an Eddie Guerrero kind of
Of
wrestler.
course.
I,
Yes.
I would say that I'm a little bit less quiet than Eddie, but
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a hard worker. Maybe not the best overall, but a hard worker overall. And
Definitely.
what's funny is that those I had a lot of fun doing those videos, and I think I need to start doing a little bit more of those, just because when I started this channel overall, you know, I back when I was in high school, I did a lot of video editing, and I come to love that part. I'm
Hmm.
sure you can attest to this. A lot of people don't like editing their videos just because it takes so long just to, for the final product to be 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes long. It
Hmm.
takes you a couple hours to edit. But I
Oh yeah.
enjoyed that. I really do enjoy that part of the process. But either way, I had that in the back end, and I always wanted to create a YouTube channel. And I always, talk to my friends, even to my wife, who have this, outward personality that I think, oh my God, you're perfect for a camera. Like all you got to do is just talk about whatever you're interested in. I'll edit it, I'll do the YouTube stuff, and
Hmm.
we'll be set. Nobody took me up in my offer because
Uh,
they were too scared, that some people on the internet would put negative comments, talk about,
hmm.
their looks or whatnot. And I'm like, come on, just somebody do it. To the point that my previous employer, all I really was doing was creating or setting up these Zoom interviews and set up meetings with life insurance carriers and brokerage general agencies, and I had to kind of direct the call overall. And I felt like I was a bit shy on the camera, so I was like, okay, well, F it. Let me just go ahead, start a YouTube channel, talk about something that I'm passionate about,
Hmm.
and this will help me hopefully get better at it, and I won't be so shy and see where it takes me. So it has helped me. I am so good now in my meetings. Now that I'm with a different employer, this is
Wow.
great. This has helped me out so much. And it also goes to show, like, I still don't think I'm the right guy to be on YouTube, to be honest. Like, I feel
Really?
like I'm boring, man. I feel like I am not the guy. I'm the guy that stands on the back end of the camera,
Hmm.
recording and telling you, go, not the one in front. Like, to the point that, when I started this, I told my wife that, hey, it's going to be a lot, but let me just do it. As soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll consider my goal met. I consider the goal that I set for myself accomplished.
Wow.
And, getting close to that, and it's getting to that point where she's asking me now, like, so what's gonna happen when you hit that? And You know, I was honest with her. I told her I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm gonna quit. I really don't know.
Wow.
Because I told her like I was not even I was not even sure I could make it. To be honest with you, I really thought I was just gonna do these and nobody would notice, and they were just gonna fly. All these videos were just gonna fly under the radar, and
Yeah.
surprisingly, some of them have not.
Well, yeah, I could see. Yeah, you had some really good videos out there. I don't know. I like that I think you actually had the same mantra as Kiki starting a channel. Her main goal starting was like, I just want to be better at speaking. I think she said that a few
Right.
times in the Discord. But now you kind of find the love along the way of all the people that you meet along the way and like the people who are watching and just the process of editing, like you said. So it's interesting. That's really cool that you kind of started it for that reason, and now it's helped you in just your your main job, your standard job, with speaking and presenting information. Because it really is. It's like
It is.
there's no more nervousness of looking at a camera as opposed to looking at maybe somebody in the eye. Oddly enough, I mean, there's a little
Yeah.
different tension there, but still, the skill translates definitely to speaking with people, and you just get better at speaking in general. Like you just find more things to say, whereas before getting on camera you may like, I don't know what to say, but now you just kind of sometimes, like if you don't script videos, like you just kind of talk and you fix it
Right.
after the
Right.
fact, so it makes conversations easier too. You just learn how to say more things. So that's cool. And I guess everybody would probably hope that once you hit 1,000 you stick around, but we get it. But no, you're doing well, man. You're doing really well.
Yeah, but
Huh.
getting back to the whole question, that's why I
Hmm.
take the liberty of doing some you know different videos. Like yeah,
Yes.
Red WWE wrestlers. Oh, I love that one. I for a split second, I'm telling you, I was thinking about doing it with that mask. I do have that mask.
With this, oh wait, this mask.
That luchador mask. Yeah, I have it.
Ah, that's funny. Oh no, that would be funny. Could you imagine? Hey, or I just imagine, Randy Savage just talking. What's going
Right.
on? You know, we're gonna be talking about credit cards, brother. Macho Man.
Right.
Uh, oh, you know what? And I actually am remiss a little bit. John with the 5 spot, appreciate you. Said didn't see any announcements about the live, but I'm here now. It's funny, I didn't even see this until just now, so we both missed it a little bit. So thank you, John. I appreciate that. Um, John, I never asked you, but your profile picture, where is that? That's like a waterfall
Yeah.
or something. I never actually looked
Looks like it.
deep in there, but thank you, John, and Keith and Kate Kat. I appreciate you guys. Um, so that's I appreciate that. MR says lucha adorable. That's great. Oh God, Tito man, I'm telling you, you gotta just bring the mask back. I think. Um,
Right. Right.
but
You know what's funny
also,
is that I
mhm,
was so scared of doing this, like this right here, because I'm
yeah,
used to either talking live about life insurance
mm,
or talking about credit cards. But when I'm editing my videos, obviously I have that luxury where I do one
yeah,
take. Oh, hate that. Let me redo it. Let me redo it. Like
hmm,
those 8 minute videos that I upload, I probably recorded 35, 40, 45 minutes, and
same,
then I have
yeah,
to cut it. But yeah, like I was telling my wife, like this is the first time I'm gonna be talking about credit cards live. Like I don't get a do-over. I mean, I do, but it looks weird. It looks like I don't know what I'm talking about. So trust
yeah.
me, I took a shot of tequila right before
Did you?
coming on with
I don't blame you. Yeah, it's I. That's why it's like because I have a lot of people the same kind of thing. They're just not used to the live game, and then usually like within a few minutes of like me talking to them, they get comfortable, and then everything just flows perfectly. Like there's been times where I just like was on live stream with somebody and I literally could not remember my train of thought. And you always feel awkward for a second, but you realize live that's what's expected. You're expected to mess up because we're all human and whatnot. So it's so hopefully I make it as comfortable as I can for
Oh, you
people.
did. You
So
definitely
you
do.
know,
You're phenomenal, my man. I do appreciate it.
well, appreciate it, Tito. No, you're the one with all the info, man.
So,
But MR said Hilton aspires the figure four leg lock of the credit card world. Huh, man, I can usually wrap my head around certain things, but I think I could get it though. I could try with it. Yeah, yeah. I wonder. Yeah, I wonder. Right? like what finisher? Such an obscure conversation. What finishers, would be which card? Like, oh, Hilton Inspired is the well now they changed it because of PC, but it used to be STFU or just the FU from John Cena, and now I
Right.
forget what it's called. I don't even know what it's called nowadays.
Attitude
But
adjustment, I believe.
oh, is it the attitude? That's right. Like really PC. Oh, that's
Oh,
so
I would
funny.
say that the Venture X is the sweet chin music.
Hmm. I could get with that because Sweet Chin Music is just one move. It's not like too
Right?
complicated. It's simple and it packs a huge punch. I like it. Yeah, yeah. So I like it. I like. What would be the most complicated? Like a platinum card? What would be a WWE finisher? What
Oh,
the hell is complicated? I mean, Figure Four is
there,
kind of complicated, but
there was a wrestler back in the day, early 2000s, that did the worm. Scotty Too Hottie. Might be wrong,
oh,
but that he did, where
I
he
don't even
took a
remember he did
minute to
that.
do everything.
Scotty Too Hottie. Oh God, that is so funny. That's right. I know. I'm familiar. Yeah, yeah. Scotty Too Hottie. Oh God. When you say that, I just thought of Scott Steiner as well.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
Papa Pump with his 24-inch arms. Jeez. What a whole crazy world the whole WWF WWE is. It's insane. Oh, who is your favorite wrestler, by the way?
Well, active or
Anytime.
okay. Um, I would say that at current active would be AJ Styles.
Hmm.
Kind of follow his career back when he was with TNA Impact,
Hmm.
and it's one of those weird guys where he's just strong, like he could battle it out with a heavyweight. He's not the tallest. He's a small guy, but
Hmm.
he's strong. But he also flies like a Mexican luchador, if you would. So I always
Ah.
enjoy AJ Styles, but again, overall favorite wrestler of all time, I would definitely have to say it's Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Yeah. As you said, like flying like a luchador, I thought of Jimmy Superfly
Oh yeah.
Snuka. I was thinking away. I actually saw him live somewhere. I don't even remember where we were. Probably some. Oh, I think it was in Jersey. But he was, he's older, but he was still doing some
Hmm.
crazy, flying, still flying and stuff. I was like, wow. I think that was him. I'm pretty sure that was him. Yeah.
Right,
That's
right.
cool.
No, it's crazy how, you see these characters or these
Yeah.
individuals in the TV and at a certain point if you keep watching it, they just look normal, but then you
Yeah.
see them live or face to face and you're like,
Hmm.
no, we're not built the same. Like, no,
Right?
no,
It's
you
so
definitely had
true.
your breakfast every morning.
Oh, right. Yeah, the Wheaties and everything. Yeah, yeah, that's right. I used to go to some matches in Jersey, but they were like, I think it was called like ECPW. Like, not
Oh,
it's like a no name, small and in the back of a deli actually it was. It was like the back of a deli and they had these rigs. My dad would take me there and I remember they would like start fighting in the crowd, and then like they would go up in the bleachers. I remember my dad would refuse to move. So I'm not moving. They would be fighting right next to just like in front of us, like an inch from our face. And they're just like doing this. Oh, and my dad said, I'm not moving. just to be funny, not nothing rude or anything. Just like let's see if they actually come all the way up here, because everyone would leave the bleachers, they run away. So
that's
yeah.
hilarious. So I mean, obviously I'm into WWE as well. So,
Hmm.
you gotta feel a way about my wife. Poor thing, she has to deal with a 30
Well,
plus year old man that still enjoys cartoons and WWE. I mean, I don't watch WWE every day, but I still watch like the WrestleMania that just happened a couple of weeks ago.
yeah.
I watched it. I'm not ashamed of it. But yeah, so this kind of goes into a question that I had for you, and that
Hmm.
is that obviously looking into that, then she has a husband that's like, oh babe, there's this different ways that you can utilize credit cards to get free hotel stays, free flights, like just jump in with me. Like you're gonna enjoy it and you're gonna learn from it and you won't pay for it. Trust me. So
Yeah.
obviously if you have a big kid as a husband, you're not gonna jump on board right away. And it's still a work in progress to this day, to be honest with you. So I'm curious, have you gotten your significant other to jump ship with you in the credit card world? And
Yes,
if
yeah.
so,
So,
how?
so right, that's the most important thing. So it's funny because I actually did a video on this exact topic maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I walked through the journey of how it kind of worked out. And basically, yeah, I mean, at the beginning when we first met, we neither of us had a credit card when we first met, so we were both 21, um, and I didn't have any biases against them. I just never got one. Like no one approved me. I remember trying like a couple years prior for, like Sears, J.C. Penney, all these different places that denied me, Santander, um, and then a couple of years later, I turned 21, and then I started watching credit card YouTube. Well, more at least what it was at that time with Graham and sometimes me, Kevin talking about it, sometimes Sebi, and they were talking about secured cards. So I went got my own Capital One Platinum secured. Long story short, 3 months later, I didn't accrue any debt. There was nothing bad that came from it. My score only went up. So she saw that, and then I think it was like 2 or 3 months later, she was like, "Okay, I guess I can do that too." And I told her like, "Hey, if we're gonna buy a house one day, we both have a good credit score." So she kind of
Right.
knew it. She understood, and she trusted me at that time. So she did the same thing. She did also got her own secured card. Again, same thing happened. Credit score rose. Hers was better at the beginning, honestly, unfortunately. But I don't know why she beat me. But yeah. And then from there, she got the Quicksilver, so she had 1.5% cash back on everything. And then a little bit more time went on, and then she got the Freedom cards, and then got more cash back, and we used that for some travel. And then eventually getting like a Chase Sapphire Preferred, and it's like, oh, now I have 80,000 points, which, funnily enough, she just finally used 2 or 3 years later, the 80,000 points, and she cashed them out for cash to pay taxes. So I was like, it's fine. I was like, well, we talked about it. You're like, I have enough to sustain our travel for the next couple of years. I've just built up a
Right.
crazy amount of points through my ink cards. So I just said, listen, if you want to use it for that, go for it. I don't see any issue with it. In fact, I probably will do the same for my Amex cards for the my Amex points. I might.
Mm,
Um, paying taxes on all this stuff. So maybe you use rewards to pay it as well. But that's all it really was it was just a journey together of me doing it first, showing her like, okay, we're staying here for free, going here for free, and then she started accumulating her own cards, which is like, can I, how can I assist in all these travels, right? So, but then she's
right.
not doing all the crazy annual fee cards. She only has like a slot of or a
Mm,
slew of $95 annual fee cards, and some of them were canceling or downgrading. But that's all it really was starting slow, getting good. Because does she have any credit cards? Your wife?
she does, but it's kind of those credit cards that she has had now, even before she met me. It's like
Yeah.
the Citi Double Cash card and the Discover It credit card,
Mm.
and that really is it. Now, I've gotten kind of better at it at explaining it to her, just
Yeah.
because again we've been staying at Hyatt's now for 2 years, and I keep telling her, see
Yeah.
what we can do just for paying $95 for that Chase Sapphire Preferred card. All of these stays are free. And
Yes.
also, I think it really hit home because recently, and I even did a video of this, I was able to book her a flight last minute, like literally 4 days before she had to fly
Mm.
from Pennsylvania down to South Carolina.
Oh.
Um, and it was an American Airlines flight. Now, I didn't have a credit card that would transfer those points directly to American
Mm.
Airlines, so I had to get a little creative and had to open up a membership with what's it called, British Airways, and was able to find that American
Uh,
Airlines flight. So had to send my points to British Airways, book the flight, and then she was able to visit for only $13, which I think was
wow.
just tax. So I think she finally saw the light. So she's
Mm.
like, okay, let's go ahead and do this since the hotels and credit card and flights have basically been for free
Yeah.
or really cheap.
Especially
But yeah,
since whenever you're talking to people, yeah, it's like, oh, I have to book this flight. It's gonna be $400. Like I remember booking a flight to Florida, it was like 400 or 500. And I was like, oh, it's a good deal, But going from that mindset to, okay, it could just be the taxes, $13, $11, whatever. Yeah, I could imagine that's a huge mind shift. I would probably just have her use your referral, or if you have the card, I don't know, but just get a Freedom Unlimited, get those cool twenty
yeah,
thousand points, And if you got a referral, an extra, what is it, 5 or 10K? I don't even know. Um, and that's good value right there. And she only has to spend 500. That's and it's no annual fee. I think that would probably be a place I would start. I think.
yeah. You know, what's funny is that I did a video on this, and
Oh,
you know, it's one of those things where it's not the sexiest card at all. Like it's not the
yeah,
Chase Freedom Unlimited card like that. I really want to say that's the credit card that I really clung to as my favorite credit card overall, just because even though 1.5 doesn't sound that amazing now compared to the Venture X card, I still love that 1.5x base multiplier
yeah,
plus the other 3x on dining and the 3x on pharmacy. Like
yeah,
to me, that's just a phenomenal card, especially with a no annual fee. Yes, I see the highlight and the reasons why people go for the Chase Freedom Flex. Like, I am not throwing shade at all. Like, that's a great credit card. It is. But I myself am a bit more of a conservative, if you would, conservative mindset. So I prefer to just know what points I'm going to get whenever I go out and buy anything. And yeah, the 5X sounds great, but I just know myself. I'm either going to
yeah,
forget to
yeah,
activate them again, lazy person over here, or two, I'm going to forget about them and I'm not going to use them until it's too late or whatnot. So even though it's not the sexiest card, man, I still love that Chase Freedom Unlimited card. It still stays with me everywhere I go.
yeah, man. And it fits with your theme, right? And I think a lot of people agree with it, even myself as well. Is I want to have as little decisions to make as possible, in most transactions. So it's like, okay, if I could just limit the amount of thoughts I have, then sure. And if it means 1.5x and everything, that's beneficial. Like, and I really love that idea of like a one card setup just for that reason as well. I think it's also why I really gravitate towards like I've been getting like crazy in cards this year. I said it a couple times, but I'm getting one every single quarter for the whole year. And it's so easy because I don't have to think about it. Every transaction goes on that card. 3 months goes
Right.
by, I hit the welcome offer, get another one. Just keep going
Mm.
as long as I can go. After that, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll simplify things. But I like it. It fits with what you said, your theme of the Venture X and whatnot. Just easy to make sense in your day to day life. I like that. Um, and I also wanted to mention Juan said the Platy, the Amex Platinum is a stone cold stunner.
I
Yeah,
like that.
right. John, it's a waterfall in Iceland. Cool.
Okay.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, yeah. I kind of figured. Hey, he lives in Iceland. Um, da, 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 da. Such an Tito's channel needs to be sponsored by Tito's vodka. Yep, 100%. That's funny.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. Um, Tito needs way more subscribers. Matt says y'all need to fix that. Someone else should be way past me. Yeah, I think it should still be in the pin thing on the live here. If you want to go subscribe and then come back real quick.
Oh, I
Oakland thinks.
appreciate that, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. We'll push Tito, and I'll put it after this ends. I'll also put it in the pinned comment of the VOD. Um, get you some people. Hopefully.
You all want me to retire this early, huh?
All right, yeah. Get him to 1,000 so he just disappears. That's it. It's done. Uh, Oakland Platinum is the people's elbow. Have to run back and forth across the ring. Oh yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, that's a
I
good.
like that. I like that. I
Gotta keep going
like
back.
that.
That's so funny. Oh God. Yeah, rest in peace, Eddie. Gone too
Yeah.
soon. Oh man, I missed a lot here. Oh geez. Oh, the Amex Jabron, what's up, man? The Amex Centurion is easily Ted DiBiase, the $1 million man. Oh, that's funny. Oh
I swear, I'm
Lord.
gonna come back and rewatch this and get video ideas off of these comments.
That's right. That's right. If I were, you know, ex wrestler, here's what I would do. Um, that's funny. Let me see. World of Hyatt is Mr. Sacco. Oh my God. What? I just thinking like as far as like the way it looks, I'm thinking like maybe the
Right.
Hilton Honors the white Hilton Honors card might be a Mr. Sacco. Is it? Wait. I am remembering right. This is Mankind. This is his finisher.
Mankind, yep.
Okay, so it's funny all the names right too, like Cactus Jack and yeah, Mankind and Dude Love. Yes. Oh my God. Oh, it's too much. I love the wrestling talk. Yeah, man. Didn't think we'd get into it, but It's
I
good.
know.
Uh, well, if this is the guy with the old worn out wallet, hello Anthony, what's up, Icarus? Yeah, I put a community post of my old trifold wallet. It's like destroyed with like 50 cards in there.
Wow.
Joe. Oh, what's up, Joe? Hola, Anthony and Tito. Sorry I'm late. I'm at a wedding in New York. Always at a wedding. It's always doing something. He's got too many friends.
Right,
Oh,
right.
here's a question for you, QC man. Does your wife watch your channel, Tito?
Oh, you had to hit a nerve, didn't you?
Oh no. QC man.
The last video she saw, I think, was back in April 15 of last year, I want to say. No, she doesn't watch my channel.
Wait, as of what date?
April, somewhere in April of last year.
Oh my god. Oh, that's hurtful. That is really
It
hurtful.
is.
I
It
get it
is.
though. I get it. I can't say it's been that long. I think she's watched one like a month ago, maybe. I think a month. So, but
No,
then
no,
again, she's not actually watching them. She's just putting them on, putting the video on the side. That's good.
right. But the reason that's due is probably because she's helping me write, the videos and just
Really?
coming up with subjects. Yeah. No, like, I go ahead and talk about the subjects that I want to cover in a video, and then she will usually just go in and be like, all right, well, that sounds interesting. That doesn't. That does. Blah blah blah.
Hmm.
So she does help me in that sense, and she's the one that helps me with the thumbnail. Like again, I'm not as famous as Anthony over here. It's still a one man show. So I still have to find ways to make those thumbnails interesting, and it's still a work in progress, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, hey man, I'm still one man show over here. Although I did
Oh,
hire a
nice.
thumbnail guy for a little bit, but then I forced him to teach me how to make them. So now I can just well, I learned how to make them now, but I also stole a lot of his old templates with his permission, of course. But I mean, I paid for it; doesn't matter. But I just took them. I was like, can you just remove the card so it's just my face and a thing, so then I can just input the card. So this way, it's like kind
Ooh.
of an easy copy and paste, and I'll add a little flair to each different one, which I definitely recommend. Any content creators out
Mm.
there, you definitely want to. I would hire, thumbnail guy, and then just have him teach you everything. You know, even an editor too. I think that could help a lot.
Might have to contact you and see how to go about that, because I have no idea how to even go about looking for somebody that does that.
I can give you my guy, and then also, we could always jump on a call and I'll show you like the things that I know at least in Canva. So anytime we could do that. Um, Let me see here. What's up, Jacob? What's up, man? Icarus says I could show you a card that gives you 3.33% cash back on any category, no annual fee on 6,000 a year spent. Hmm.
Oh.
Sounds like we're talking about I don't know, some sort of it's probably not an Amex card. It's probably not a blue card, but I'm forgetting which one might have that 6K cap. Interesting. We got some people here. Who's your favorite female wrestler? Michael asks.
Oh,
Do you have one?
Trish Stratus.
Oh my God, Tristan! Immediately.
I didn't even have to think about it. I didn't even have to think about it.
Oh
Hopefully my
wow.
wife won't watch this, but yeah,
Yeah.
Trish
No.
Stratus all day.
Trish Stratus, man. Do you think she has like really good technique? Do you think
Oh yeah.
that's so great? Great
Like
technique.
she's the GOAT, greatest woman of all time.
Oh my lord. Yeah, I would say that. She definitely had like one of the biggest names, I would say, at that time. I mean, everybody still knows, right? What did you think I was gonna
Ooh.
say?
I know.
Another-
You're absolutely right. She's
right.
that name still is talked about to this day.
It's still still in households around America, around the world. Oh, that is so funny. Sure, yeah, MR Stratus for the win. Sure, technique. That's so funny. Oh Lord. Um, well, that's cool. She's very active. Then. Yeah, your wife. That's yeah. It's interesting. She finds like the videos and will ideas and will help write some of it. That's pretty cool. That she's kind of in it, to that degree.
Right. But obviously, so she kind of knows what the video is gonna be about. So she's like, I'll wait to the next one. I'll wait to the next one. That's what I keep hearing. I'll wait. I'll
Always
watch the
is.
next one. I'll watch the
Right.
next one.
Well, she might watch this one. We'll see.
Right? We'll see.
So,
If I do a video with a black eye in the next couple of weeks, you guys will know why.
oh my God. Michael Wong says Stratisfaction. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think of all the greats over the years. I remember when I was really young watching, I used to like Mickey James.
Oh yeah.
I'm struggling to remember other ones of that era though.
Lita.
Who?
Oh, Lita.
Lita. Was she the one that was married to Edge? Or not even together with Edge? Is that
Yep.
her?
Yep.
Okay. Red. I'm seeing. I see the red pants or whatever. That's right. Yeah. God.
And obviously, come on, Jeff and Matt Hardy. I wonder who, what credit cards we would say that duo is, the Hardy Boys.
I mean, my first thought, I actually used to love Jeff Hardy as well. He was my favorite before Goldberg, but before I discovered Goldberg. But Jeff Hardy was, Swanton Bomb. I think because I remember seeing purple a lot, I feel like he's like the old Hilton Aspire. I don't know what other cards are purple at this time. I'm not really sure. Yeah, Matt Hardy, I see green with him, like his aura. Or I guess his pants are cargo pants. I don't know, maybe he's an Amex Green or something. Oh, Lord.
So wait, does that mean that Goldberg is your favorite wrestler, or who would you say that is?
It's hard to say because I never necessarily, like, I don't think I ever cared about like any of the wrestlers necessarily for their personality. Because if that were the case, then you got to go with like John Cena and whatnot. He's just like, at least for what I like, he's fun and it's funny, it's entertaining. But Goldberg, I just love for the sheer just how he looked. Like it's I think wasn't he the only guy to ever like suplex the Big Show? Like that's insane. Like literally pick up the Big Show and suplex him. Like I know John Cena has done the FU on him and all that stuff, but I never seen anybody actually hold the Big Show like this and then went down.
Right.
I think he actually. Am I remembering this wrong with the timeline? Didn't he also try to pick up Andre the Giant? I feel like he might have. I can't remember.
He might have. Yeah, I'm not sure, but he was definitely one of the strongest guys that I've ever seen in the WWE or WWF, whatever you want to go off of. But yeah, he was a beast to be. So I guess who would he be in the credit card world?
Well, actually, MR, perfect. It's just so serendipitous. The Goldberg is the Amex Gold. Let's go, baby. The Amex Classic Goldberg. I mean, you can't write this stuff, man. That's I didn't even think about that. That was a great point, MR. Goldust is gold. Goldust is rose gold apple. Wait, who's Goldust? Oh,
Goldust?
God. Who's that?
Please tell me you know who Goldust is.
I don't know who Goldust is.
Oh,
wait,
you gotta go back.
Is that his name, or is that something he does?
Goldust. No, that was his wrestling name.
Really?
The guy that would always paint his face gold and black and would do some questionable things around the ring and outside the ring.
This is what comes up. I typed in just Goldust. So stupid. Let me say wrestler.
Goldust W. Yep.
This guy? No, I don't think I know this person. I don't think I know.
He was Dusty, the American Dream Rhodes' son.
Wait a second. Yeah, he looks like Dusty Rhodes had two sons. I know Cody Rhodes. Who the hell is this guy? Yeah. Oh my God.
That's Cody's older brother.
His name's Goldust. Oh God. I had never heard about this. Oh, this is him. This is them together. Gold and wait, Stardust. Who's started? Was that Cody's name?
I think that was Cody for a couple of years.
That is so freaking funny. I never knew that. Wow. That is really. Oh yeah, they mentioned Goldust was Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' brother, his kids. I'm sad to hear Anthony does it. I know, such a shame, right? Such a shame. Oh God, Goldust equals Shattered Dreams. Was he really that big? How have I not heard of him? Wow.
Shattered Dreams Productions, baby.
Oh, is that? Oh my God. There's so much stuff going over my head right now. This is insane. Wow. Oh wait, someone said the Hilton business card is the Stinger. Stinger is edges.
Oh. What?
Is
What
the
you
Stinger
just say?
edges? Is that edges finisher? Oh God. Wait, what's the Stinger? Wait, Stinger. Wait, hold on. Stinger. Isn't that like a tackle, whatever you call it? Who the hell's Stinger? Wait, it's
Do they
not.
mean Sting, like the
Oh
wrestler?
wait, is Stinger Goldberg? Oh my God, am I messing up? Wait a second. Oh no. Oh, we're talking
I
about
think I
Sting. My
also
Mark said
lost.
Sting. My Mark said Sting.
Oh, Sting. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Sting the wrestler. Yeah. I'm familiar. Didn't he have like face paint too? Did he get
Yep.
dressed up? Like Kiss or something?
White and black. Yeah, I think he's mostly known because of what was the movie back in the '90s, The Crow, and he painted his face about the exact same way. No,
Oh,
but Sting is one of the best wrestlers also. I think he's
wow.
still active actually, or I think he
Really?
just retired recently.
Huh. This is pretty wild. Interesting. Michael Long stays unsubscribed. I'm sorry, Mike.
Would
God damn it. Who would have thought my downfall would have been WWE?
have been Goldust.
Yeah, I know. Who would have thought Goldust is the thing that ruined me? Oh, that is so freaking funny. I can't. And then I actually also wanted to just, for a brief second, bring up. You did this other awesome video, how the Foo Fighters are overly redeemed 6 million points. It's funny because I sent this to my brother-in-law because that's his favorite band. So I sent it to him. I don't know if he replied yet, but I thought that was such an interesting topic that they earned 6 million points over their career. They didn't say which card it was, but I think you theorized it was like the platinum card, and then what they could do with that. But you said they were using that to like pay for. In that article, it said that they were using that to pay for all their hotels and stuff, flights.
Right. So, if I remember correctly, it was they were filming a documentary about themselves and how they are famous and talking about themselves overall. But the studio, I'm not sure who it was, didn't want to pay for this crew to fly with the Foo Fighters. So what they decided to do is that they basically utilized all the points to book the flights and the hotel for this crew to fly with them and be able to catch those concerts and get the Foo Fighters on a more personal basis. But yeah, instead of using it for any other reason, they just used it for that documentary.
Oh, wow!
So
I
I'm
didn't
not
know that.
sure. I'm not sure if that got them the highest in per point valuation, but they were able to fly the whole documentary crew around with them.
That is so crazy. That's so cool. It's especially in that era too. I think you were talking about the. Actually, I don't know what time period. Was it early 2000s or late
Early
90s?
2000s, I
Early
believe.
2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to have the forethought, because nobody's really talking about credit cards. Maybe in those circles, if you're wealthy, you kind of knew about it, but to have the forethought, be like, okay, we need some way to handle all of this. I guess because whoever didn't want to pay for it. 6 million points is crazy. It's funny that's like the number two. Didn't like Dave Portnoy also have 6 million? And there was something
Yeah.
else that was 6 million. Like that's like the number.
Oh, I think Dave Portnoy blew that number out of the water. I
Oh
forgot
really?
the amount, but yeah, his amount was just out of this world, like crazy high.
Jeez. Oh man. That's yeah. I just thought that was a really unique video you did. Obviously those videos don't necessarily always get the most love, but they're always fun, to make and to. Because I did one too on I think it was the Oichian, he was a Chinese billionaire who used like 100 or he earned like 180 million Amex points for the Centurion because he bought $180 million painting, and they allowed him to swipe it like 30 times or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he did it like a second time with like an ancient Ming Dynasty cup too. And I was like one of the most fun videos to make. Like, what the hell, these people are
Right,
nuts.
right. And no, and that's why also, I'm not too keen on monetization and I say that to say that, hitting 1,000 subscribers is much more of a personal goal than really getting to say like, oh, I wanna start making money off of these videos. Like obviously that would be great, but no, I just want to be able to do things that I enjoy. And you're right, that's not really gonna get the most views from time to time, but it's also about, just being happy that you have it out there.
Yeah.
Like, even if my son or daughter does is not into credit cards at all, they'll be able to go back and be like, that is crazy. He did that. He went out there and put a video of himself. Like, first of all, he probably thinks he's the ish. He's not. But either way, it's just being able to say like, hey, he did something. And that's all that I really think my YouTube channel is. It's just somehow doing something that you never thought you would. And that's why I respect guys like you, like Shad, like Cesar, like Slash, and Uncle Luke, and so many others that I'm forgetting. Michael, Matt, like I truly am a fan of everybody's work, even though I kind of go missing from time to time. Like I do love the different perspectives that this community has, whether it's how to earn points, how to redeem them, and at least I don't know if you would agree. I don't think I've seen a video yet where the presenter is kind of like saying like, "This is, I'm so smart. I did this. You see how smart I am." It's never been
Mhm.
that mentality. It's always been
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, guys, this is what I found. You should know about it so
Yes.
you can duplicate it, or maybe use it in a different way where you can get the highest cent per point valuation or get the highest return on your expenses or on your credit cards, whatever the end goal is. That's one thing that has kept me within this community. It's always that feeling that everybody's just out there to give you what works, just because this kind of information is not out there. Like, yeah, you see the commercials with Kevin Hart and Taylor Swift and all that, but that doesn't really help you. That doesn't really drive much of value per se. Like,
Mm.
you know, getting into the credit cards overall, like I kick myself so much now because when I originally got my credit card, I thought to myself, oh my God, I have a $10,000 limit on my credit card. In my mind, I thought, oh my God, it's a savings account. That's my emergency account.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I think now, like, what is wrong with you? But either way, like now I know that there's different ways and ways that you can really utilize credit cards to help you out and to put you ahead. Uh, you know, good old Dave Ramsey's always talking about that, credit card points and miles will make you rich, and he's right about that. It's not gonna make you rich, but it is going to make it a lot easier for people to travel and people to enjoy and be able to utilize hotels or flights for their normal everyday transactions. And that's just something that I don't think is talked about enough. Certainly, it's not taught in our schools, and that's why I do have a deep respect for everybody that's in this community.
Well, Tito, I think that's a perfect note to go out on. I couldn't, I could not have said that better. And I appreciate you for, giving me your time today when you had some amazing news this morning, and then also everything you talk about in your channel. Because I did not see all your videos. I saw that one, and then that was kind of it. So unfortunately,
Oh, I
but going
appreciate
through your
it.
channel and seeing how many interesting videos you had made me very excited for everything that you are going to come out with too, and just meeting you today and everything. So definitely for everyone who's here, if you want to go subscribe to Tito, it should still be in the pinned comment. If you want to stick around for a moment, I'll put it in the chat now if I can. Oh, you know what? I do have one final question before I let you go. I'm sorry.
Yep. Oh, no problem.
Why did you change your name, man, from Tito's Financial Corner to,
Ooh,
to
to
Tito's Credit
Tito's.
Cards? I was
Yeah.
pissed.
So, you know how I mentioned that about 4 months ago I got a new job? Um, well, I jumped from a marketing organization to a life insurance carrier.
Hmm.
And the end goal is that I'm going to get my certifications to become a financial advisor. Well, I'm not going to be helping people, specifically, I'm going to be helping advisors. So
Hmm.
I will have that, and they are very rigorous when it comes to different sources of income.
Uh,
And I felt that if I had financial in my YouTube channel, they'd be like, wait, what is he doing over here? So that was one reason. The second reason is that when I originally started the channel, I really wanted to focus on finance everything. Credit cards, bank accounts, credit unions versus banks,
Mm.
um, mortgages, everything. And again, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I just like to read, and I think one of my assets, and I think everybody has this, but one of the assets that I really try to hone in is being able to take any kind of subject and be able to contort it in a way that is digestible to anybody and
Mm.
everybody. Whether that's whether that's people saying that, oh, that's because you have a vocabulary that is not as advanced as some other people. Well,
Mm.
no, I think I do have that, but I prefer to not go that route. I prefer to say it in a way that anybody and everybody would be able to understand it. So, with that in mind, that was the original idea of the channel. And obviously, as you saw with the videos, they're definitely leaning one way. So I figured,
Yeah.
let me just make sure that when people click on my channel, they know exactly what I'm going to talk about. And, it's not that I only want to talk about credit cards, but it's one of those topics that I'm just always finding new information, like
Yeah.
being on your Discord channel or just putting credit cards on Google and just hitting search. Like so many different articles, so many
Yeah.
different ideas and topics come up that it's like, okay, I'm not interested in anything else. Like, yeah, I could talk about savings
Mhm.
accounts, but I'll be lying to you guys. Like, if that I'm really into it, I'm not.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna mainly focus on credit cards. So again, because I really wanted to hone in on a specific niche, and also because I don't want to mess up
Yeah.
my bag.
That's not
I
the
figured I
bag.
might as well just change it to Tito's credit cards.
Makes sense. Makes sense. That's funny. Okay, so there's a good reason for it. Fine, that's fine. We'll allow it. I'm kidding. But again, yeah, thank you so much for giving me your time today, man. And I also will say thanks to Kid Cat, Keith, John R. Appreciate you guys for the super chats today, man. Um, Very much appreciated. And then who we got in here? We got MR, John, Matt, Chris, QC Man, 34 Skyline, Tariq, QC Man again. Did I say that right? Michael Wong, and everybody else who was here earlier. I know Joe was here, Chad was here, a few people. So appreciate everyone here being here. And yeah, I guess we'll see you. Maybe not next week, but maybe the week after. We'll see. I might be doing something next week. But thank you, Tito. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thank you guys. See ya.